Welcome to the Master's Moments with Dexter Truesdale, a ministry of Pensacola Baptist Temple in Pensacola, Florida. This is a Bible study podcast where we pause from the noise of life to listen for the voice of God. Over the next few moments, allow the Master to speak to your heart, because these moments could be some of the most important moments of your life.
In Mark chapter 14 in verse 1, we find these words. After 2 days was the feast of the Passover and of unleavened bread. And the chief priests and the scribes sought how they might take him by craft and put him to death. But they said, not on the feast day, lest there be an uproar of the people. And being in Bethany in the house of Simon the leper, as he sat at meat, there came a woman having an alabaster box of ointment of spikenard, very precious, and she brake the box and poured it on his head. And there were some that had indignation within themselves and said, why was this waste of the ointment made? For it might have been sold for more than 300 pence and have been given to the poor. And they murmured against her. And Jesus said, let her alone. Why trouble ye her? She hath wrought a good work on me. For you have the poor with you always, and whensoever you will, you may do them good, but me you hath not always. She hath done what she could. She is come aforehand to anoint my body to the burial. Now notice what Jesus said about this woman and her action. Verse 8, Jesus said, she hath done what she could. He didn't say she's done everything that needs to be done. But he did say she hath done what she could. This woman, because of her position in society, and because of the fact she was a woman, and in that day women had limited opportunities because they were female. But even though there were many restrictions upon her, and there was much she could not do, she did not use those limitations as an excuse for doing nothing. She could have easily sat idly by and not done anything as the events took place in our text. But she saw an opportunity to do something for her Savior. And while what she did may have seemed small and insignificant to many who were present, she went ahead and anointed his feet with this spikenard oil. And when she did, and people complained, Jesus defended her by saying, she hath done what she could. And then he gave her a great honor. He said, verily I say unto you, wheresoever this gospel shall be preached throughout the whole world, this also that she hath done shall be spoken of for a memorial of her. And folks, I want you to know this story's telling us that while it's true there are a lot of things that you and I cannot do. We're limited in some way, just like this woman. Maybe because of education, maybe because of talent, maybe because of circumstance or situation. But my friend, regardless of why there are limits upon us, it's very easy for us to use them as an excuse. But my friend, even though we have limitations upon us, and God understands that, and doesn't expect us to do things we're not capable of doing, he does expect us to do what we can. Many years ago, I had a youth conference or youth service in one of the churches I pastored, and I brought a man in to speak to my young people. And I'll never forget, he spoke on the subject, do what you can with what you have, and God will be satisfied. And that's true. You look around and you probably see many things you cannot do. But there's always something you can do. And all the Lord expects of us is to do what we can. And if we'll do what we can, Jesus will be satisfied. He'll remember it at the day of judgment, and we'll be rewarded for our effort. At one point, Jesus said, if any give a cup of cool water in the name of a disciple, he shall not lose his reward. You may only be able to give a cup of cool water, but if you do what you can, Jesus will be pleased and satisfied, and you will be rewarded when we stand before him at the judgment seat of Christ. This is Evangelist Dexter Truesdale, and this has been the Master's Moments podcast.
Thank you for spending this time listening to the Master's Moments. If God has spoken to your heart today, don't forget to subscribe and share with a friend. Thanks for listening.